As you can see, if you open up screen recorder in landscape mode, it works great. Opening it up in portrait mode will get you messed up. I had to reset my phone because my continuous glucose monitor quit working, so I needed to set this option again. Also, when I did the factory reset on my phone, I lost everything in all my apps and had to put them all back in again. No fun. Still working on some of them. This is the video that's transmitted to the cell phone. This is not the high definition video. Don't take off with no GPS is locked up. You don't get a return to home function. And also the IMU needs to set and settle a little bit. Let the gyros get up to speed and settle down because they're really sensitive. So I was just going to put it in Sign smooth, cinema smooth mode, whatever you want to call it. And go fly some flowers. Looks like max altitude, return to home altitude. It's pretty much what I want. I'd gone through a lot of these already. I just wanted to make sure of those.
The home point has been updated.
Items.
Please check it on the map.
Anytime it says check location, I check location. I don't care when it is. It's got quite a few GPS locked up now. Turn on the camera. Take off.
The home point has been updated. Please check it on the map.
And of course she says check it again. I say fine with me. And I do check it again. I just couldn't see the screen. Again, I don't know what it is. My glasses got really dark in the sun. It's about 1:45, 1:30, 1:45. Cataracts, combination of both. I thought because I'd just done a factory reset on my phone that I didn't get the display set back as bright as possible. I didn't notice the exposure level, exposure value in the bottom right hand corner of the screen here because I couldn't see the screen. Probably could have made that a little hotter. I've got to figure out the exposure on this camera. Can't be a high dollar camera on a $300, $400 camera platform. Trying to fly what they call pinch flying, where instead of putting your thumbs on the joysticks, you put your thumb and your first finger on the joysticks, but that makes me having to use my middle finger on my left hand for the gimbal. I am not used to that yet at all, but I'm trying it. Has to be some kind of experiment in every flight. These flowers bloom every spring. I figured they were a good subject to go out and play with and see how things work one day and how they work the next in different conditions, etc. Just, again, gaining experience. Put the center pointer on the camera on the phone to try to get a reference for flying. Let's see how that turns out. Still need to, even though this is, well, it's only 0.7, minus 0.7 exposure correction or exposure level. I really think that could have come down more if I could see the screen. And It's much easier to work with an underexposed picture and bring out the shadows and bring out a little light in it than it is to try to quieten down the light over a whole subject on the whole picture, because even your shadows, you've just got too much light on your shadows, the same amount of light as on your bright part of your picture. So have to work with that a little bit. This is when I was out clearing the woods to fly through these woods on the left here. This is where I found that well. In my humble opinion, it's a well for checking for chemicals and stuff. We're that close to an apple orchard, and I don't know if any of you know, 25 years ago there was a real bad thing going on in Hendersonville where the birds were all dying. The same thing as the DDT back in the 60s. Chemicals used on the apple orchards were causing the eggshells to be soft. This is all line of sight flying because I can't see the screen. When I got the phone inside afterwards, I found I had the phone display set on a maximum brightness, no adaptive lighting and anything like that that would mess with it. So I'm still working on figuring out screen, being able to see the screen to fly. And it may just be down in the low areas here. The camera goes real underexposed or whatever, and that'll be corrected when I fly higher. Who knows? It will be figured out. Just a matter of doing the flights. Nice little white one up in there. Sadly, we had a couple of nights get down towards 30 in the last week, so a couple of these bushes just got devastated. It wasn't like the years before this year. I'm hoping I'm wrong on that and they eventually do pop out, but there's one here. I'll show you that it's obvious it has been cut back by the cold weather. It's a dogwood tree, not a azalea. And more than anything here, I was just working on line of sight flying, just getting the plants for the spring. I mean, I normally go out there with the cell phone camera and take pictures of all of them. I guess I could just take pictures with the drone, but I think you can get lots of pictures from one video. Want some stills? Just go in and take one of those 30 frames per second. Doesn't work that way because they're not all in focus or exposure, correct exposure. You'd be surprised. These all up through here have always been real good every year. I think pinch flying does give you a little more control. If you're trying just to move the sticks a little bit, it's really hard with your thumbs not to wobble around. And hiding behind this bush is A nice red one. Soon the leaves will be on all these trees. I won't have 11 to 14 GPS satellites locked up back here. If it tries to go return to home for any reason on its own, it's going to be a hard fight to keep it from just going up into the canopy and wrapping itself up. He pays you money, he takes his chances. I wished I was responsible for the yard. I sure would like to get at it with a hoe and a rake and some grass seed and some weed killer and some fertilizer. I had the best yard in the neighborhood back at Bent Creek. So far I like pinch flying the joysticks. This is the dogwood tree that was really pink and beautiful 2 or 3 days ago, and the cold weather, it lost at least half of its blooms. There were so many blooms on it you really couldn't see any green 2 days ago, and it was obvious from the kitchen window that it got bitten back. April showers are supposed to bring May flowers, not March showers bring April showers, flowers, excuse me. The white dogwood kind of is the same it was. Don't know why the pink one got bit so badly. These stay for about 2 weeks in the spring, and then they're just back to being green bushes. So the lawn service came. Looks better. Like it would if I was responsible for it. And the landlord cut the trees from the driveway this winter. We didn't know why until I finally figured it out today. He's getting ready to build 2 houses right behind our garage. He's going to have to get construction trucks and construction equipment in here. Bet he's going to die when he hears if we can. We're going to try to get out of here before construction starts. I also do not know if this red bush back here is going to burst out or if it got cut back by the cold. I think I see red things on the ground, so it might have gotten cut back. So about this time I knew I was getting towards the end of my battery. Just kind of a feel thing. After 110 minute or 15 minute, 17 minute even flights, you kind of start getting where you know this will go about 20, 22 minutes. We'll say 20. So I decided to play with one of the quick shots again for kicks and grins here. So I wanted to play with Droney. I didn't name it, but I couldn't see the screen. Droney was selected, but I don't have much experience with this. This is only the second time I've played with it, so I didn't see. It looks like at the top corner of the demo shot there's a way to close that and start doing what you're supposed to do. I was trying to touch the screen behind it, get that to go away. I couldn't see the screen again. There we go. And trying to select myself. I know how this works, I just don't have the experience with it. Need that to reinforce it. And I got rocket on instead of Droney, so I'm expecting it to go up and backwards. And it looks like I'm ready
3,
now.
2, 1.
And off it goes. And it's going up. It's not going backwards. Going up. Not going backwards. But everything's cool, so I'll let it do its thing. And I think it's wonderfully cool. See, at the top, it's returning to its original position. Don't think it's taking video in the high definition camera at this time, but so I'm going, I messed that up pretty bad, didn't I? Let me try that again. So now I can see on the screen, of course, it's the symbol for rocket, not Droney. It's not going to go backwards.
3,
you can see I'm selected,
2,
but I was still trying to select
1.
me. Then you touch the start button, of course, and off it goes. Don't count the altitude on the far left bottom as being correct. That's from the point it took off around in this field. It's supposed to go to 80 feet. And on that one, I got worried about the tree coming back down towards me. I moved it a little bit away from the tree and then brought it down myself. And you will probably notice that I didn't go out of quick shot mode and I didn't turn the high definition camera back on. But I knew the battery was going. Couldn't see how far. I can tell now it's down to 27%, I think. I was wanting to test the sensors on the bottom here to see if flying straight and level, if it would actually raise up an altitude if it saw the ground, and it does. Although it doesn't do it like you might like it to. A little scary. And then I saw the dandelion. There aren't many in our fields. I guess it's from all the chemicals from the apple orchards. But I figured I would play with the dandelion. And look, that shows that follow me mode is possible on this drone. Did you see that? They don't have follow me on it, but it is possible. So I got ready to play with the dandelion. I'm going to see if I can blow everything off of it with the downforce from the props.
Landing.
And then it starts messing with me, getting it too low with the stick going down, trying to make it land. Again, the sensors on the bottom causing me problems. So I get over and get lined up on
Battery
the
level is
dandelion
low.
at
The
low
aircraft will go to the home
Return to
point in
home.
10
I'm going,
seconds.
Oh my goodness. Can I go to 200 feet, get about 40 feet, and then back down 200 feet? So I'm stabbing at the cancel button, trying to cancel it. Now the gimbal's straight down. I don't want this thing taken off to 200 feet with such low battery. So I decided I'm going to run up to the top of this field where there was a row of flowers that the lawn care people just mowed over. Luckily, there's still some in the weeds there of that same type. We'll find out what they mowed over. But I never rotated the gimbal on the camera back up level or anything else. It's pointing straight down. So this is just using out the battery, basically. Doesn't show a darn thing. I was trying to show the row of flowers that got mowed. It also shows that after that battery warning on the screen, I only have about 60 seconds. If you've been looking at the time, I only got 60 to 90 seconds of battery after that warning comes up. So that's where a lot of people get in trouble. They'll get down to the bottom of their battery and then they'll do a return to home, and when they pop up to their return to home altitude, they encounter higher winds, and now their batteries, platform's in a situation of low battery and high winds, and they just lose it. All right. Thank you all.